The mother of an 8-month-old girl who died in hospital has told an inquiry into her death. She was told her daughter just had a virus. Lauren Adger was left devastated following the death of her daughter Fern after she had been treated at the Royal Alexandra Hospital in Paisley. Mrs. Adger, 37, and her husband, David, 57, had been referred to the hospital over concerns their daughter was not eating or drinking properly and having issues passing fluids in the days before her death on April 29, 2017. Fern was admitted to hospital the day before she died but became lethargic and breathing rapidly while on a ward. Medics raced her away and performed CPR and administered shocks in a bid to restart her heart but were unsuccessful. A fatal accident inquiry at Paisley Sheriff Court has heard Mrs. Adger insist Fern would still be alive if she had been given IV fluid for dehydration. She was taken to the Royal Alexandra Hospital, Image, PA archive. The bereaved mum of Paisley singled out Dr. Moon Woo, a medic who had been in charge of Fern's care in hospital, for allegedly telling her Fern's condition was just a virus hours before her condition deteriorated. Mrs. Adger told the inquiry she had been singing to Fern when she suddenly began breathing quickly and went limp. She said nurses rushed her away for treatment, leaving her in a state of panic and screaming her daughter's name. Giving a prepared statement to the inquiry, Mrs. Adger added, "After Fern died it was clear to me that there were failings in her care at the RA. I had told staff repeatedly about her dry nappies being dry and her being lethargic and had asked about the possibility of IV fluids. But I was told she was not showing signs of clinical dehydration and that it was just a virus. Those words, just a virus, will stay with me forever, and the way Dr. Wu said them will stay with me forever. I was a first-time mom and I put my trust in the medical staff. I didn't know what was normal for a baby with a stomach virus, but looking back, it is sickening that my baby was forced to suffer with no one trying to." Mrs. Adger said she strongly believed her daughter had been let down by the hospital. She added, "I struggle every day with what happened to Fern, and I feel that the fact it was not just one mistake but a catalog feels unbearable. My precious girl was everything to me and we went to the RA for help but were made to feel like a nuisance." The inquiry is being heard at Paisley Sheriff Court, Image, PA. When she was admitted we finally felt she was getting the care she needed, but months later we discovered the doctor responsible for her care for a full shift didn't check in on Fern once and her drip was removed without examination or consideration to how much fluids she had outputted. This mistake is very difficult to live with, and Dr. Wu's failure to enter the room to me is unforgivable. Speaking of her loss, Mrs. Adger, who now has 2 other children, told the virtual hearing, "It is impossible to put into words how special and amazing Fern was or how loved she is. The loss of her was horrendous and it feels like she was robbed of her life, a life which I hoped would have been happy and fulfilling." Mr. Adger, a marine electrician, told the inquiry of his heartache at his daughter's death. He said, "Fern's death has had a huge impact on my life, it has changed me as a person. I am glad the FAI is happening. All we want is the truth for Fern." Sheriff Principal Donald Murray offered his sincere condolences to the Adger family before the start of the hearing. The inquiry, which was ordered by the Lord Advocate, continues.